We had a crazy game between the Bengals and Ravens. A lot of fantasy points scored, mostly by Ja'Marr Chase. But we're going to do the recap. We're going to go over the buy, sells, trades, and holds from this game to see what's going on with these fantasy players and what to do with them going forward. We also got some advanced metrics already, so you're going to get a good look at those. But before we dig in, you need to click that subscribe button right now, because we're doing deep dives on the trending players every single day with the You Need series, so you get a good look at the advanced metrics on those players and their situations. And on top of that, we're using these videos to help you set your lineups with the must start videos. And then on top of that, we're going deep on the waiver wire with multiple videos throughout the week. On top of that, Ric Flair's watching you. You know you don't want to disrespect Ric Flair. Click that button. Stop missing out. But this game was a dandy. 34-35. And the Bengals decided to go for 2, as you all know. And now we're here. But the big story here, there's a lot of stories in this game because it was a fun one. Ja'Marr Chase, 246 yards and 3 touchdowns. Just keeps going off with long touchdowns. Just making it happen. That is what a generational talent will do. Just take over a game and just be the man. Ja'Marr Chase is the man. No one's doubting that. Nobody is. No one's surprised. It's just what you're supposed to do when you're a generational talent in these tight matchups like this. You get those targets, you run with them, you score, you're dominant. Looking at the receiving game here for the Bengals, quite interesting. Chase Brown was getting a ton of work. He had 11 targets in this matchup. 9 catches, 52 yards. That alone, solid in the box score for a running back for fantasy football. Then on top of that, you get a touchdown and 42 yards rushing. Chase Brown had a good day. Had an amazing day for fantasy football. There's 4.2 points rushing, another 6 touchdown, 5.2 right there. And the yards, 9 more points on the catches. Tanner Hudson, the surprise coming out here. And what we said in the must start video is that when you have a matchup like this that had a 53 over under that is expected to score a lot of points, more than likely there's going to be some ancillary players that's going to hit. Tanner Hudson, ancillary player, a touchdown, 6 balls caught, 42 yards. Mike Gesicki got 9 targets in this matchup. The workload was there for him. It was just a bad beat. The workload was there. It's not like he wasn't targeted. It's not like nothing happened his way. It's just a bad beat. 4 balls caught, 30 yards. He's probably going to be up there in tight ends with receptions. Just a bad beat. That's how the tight end position rolls. You get short targets, and you got to be around the goal line, and you got to get the right volume or get some yards after the catch. That's just how the tight end position rolls. It is a very volatile position. It is very up and down. But we got 9 targets in this matchup. Probably going to be one of the top tight ends this week in targets. Probably top 5 easy with those 9 targets. Yoshi, 2 balls caught, 29 yards. This was a good matchup for him. But Ja'Marr Chase and Chase Brown together, almost 30 targets. That's where almost all the targets went. And then you got Gesicki getting 9, Tanner Hudson getting 7. There was an alleyway where the targets was going outside of Ja'Marr Chase. That is what that is saying to you when you just look at that and you zoom out. Jermaine Burton got 5 targets in this game, 1 catch and 11 yards. Looking at the routes ran when we look at these wide receivers, and it's going to be very interesting, especially when you go over here and look at Tylan Wallace. 3 catches, 115 yards, and a touchdown. Tylan Wallace would be a big factor in a lot of teams in the National Football League. He's a very good route runner. He's very crisp. He's got speed. You saw that tonight. On other teams where it's not a stacked up wide receiver, he'd be one of their top guys. You might be using him a little bit more in fantasy. You're looking at the box score now and you're wondering what if. You're probably not. It's probably something you're not going to want to look at. And we're going to go why here in the next few minutes. Mark Andrews gets the touchdown. 6 balls caught, 68 yards. So about 18 to 19 PPR fantasy points. Rashad Bateman gets the touchdown late. 6 balls caught, 54 yards. Getting those deep targets. Like I said, Rashad Bateman's one of those players you don't want to start. But he's also one of those players you don't want to bench. He's getting those deep targets. He's getting volume. especially in matchups like this. It's just a dart throw. He's a gamble every week. Like I said, he's a gamble. You either want to or you don't. He's Will Fuller. He's Will Fuller. Zay Flowers was a start for many, including me going into this game. He got 6 targets. He got the opportunities. Just a bad beat there. 4 catches, 34 yards. So 7 fantasy points in this matchup. When you bench him again, he'll score 20 on you. He has been running hot. Probably will run hot again later, especially when we look at the advanced metrics going forward. You'll see why I'm saying that. Deontay Johnson did not get much work in this game. He was dead silent. Derrick Henry, he was pretty scary in the middle of the game because the production really wasn't there. But we get that touchdown. We got 68 yards on that and 1 ball caught. If it weren't for that touchdown, it would have been a bad beat. Lamar Jackson, solid. 290 yards passing, 4 touchdowns, 33 rushing yards. Just straight up solid. Joe Burrow, 428 yards and 4 touchdowns. Like we said, you're starting both these quarterbacks going in. Looking at the advanced metrics here, starting off with Jamar Chase. This dude ran 59 routes in this game. 59 routes. Yoshi ran 50 routes and only caught 2 passes. So every 25 routes in this game, he caught a pass. That's piss poor. That is bad. On top of that, Chase Brown, for a running back, ran 47 routes in this game. That's a lot of routes for a running back. Some running backs, it probably takes them a good 3 weeks for them to get that many routes. He ran a lot of routes in this game. That's how he got so many targets. Mike Gesicki ran 45 routes. Got 9 targets, 4 balls caught. Tanner Hudson only ran 2 routes. Jermaine Burton ran 32 routes as well. And then we're looking at the ADOTs here. The average depth of targets. Who was getting the deep balls? Jermaine Burton, 19. That's what you expect from his profile from college. And Jamar Chase for getting 17 targets and still holding a 15.4 average depth of target. Yoshi deep balls. There's why he was not bringing in many balls. Just too many deep ball attempts on his side. But again, he's also Yoshi. He's not a tremendous talent. You're not going to look his way. Contested catches as well. Mike Gesicki, an 8 out of 10. Tanner Hudson, lower ADOT. If you want to know why Tanner Hudson was soaking up some targets, just floating around the line, that's what that indicates there. Chase Brown, of course, we're getting a running back ADOT. Jamar Chase with 99 yards after the catch. Chase Brown got 48. I'd imagine Chase would have more, but that's just my memory. That makes sense, though. That is solid work. Going to the Ravens. Let's go back here and look at the routes because there's a story to be told. First off, Deontay Johnson just 3 routes ran this game. However, Tylan Wallace, 3 catches right for all those yards. Just 5 routes ran in this game. That's it. He made the most of his opportunities. You can't make more out of your opportunities than Tylan Wallace. 5 routes ran. You're looking at the routes ran here. Zay Flowers leads all wide receivers. Routes ran. Just a bad beat. We're out there. We're getting to work. That's just how it rolls. That's just how it rolls. Rashad Bateman, 30 routes ran in this matchup. And we're getting the deep balls as well. Looking at the ADOTs here. Deontay Johnson, big one. Look at Rashad Bateman. Another big ADOT. And we're getting volume. That leads to fantasy production if it hits. It just does. Mark Andrews getting a good ADOT in this matchup. That's good for a tight end. That's solid for a tight end. Tylan Wallace, 8 out of 9. And we're getting 88 yards after the catch. That is very solid on that. When we're looking at these wide receivers on both teams, we're seeing some guys get downfield, make some plays. But when you look at the running backs here, and you look at the yards after contact per attempt, Lamar Jackson, 7.67. That's always fun. But Derrick Henry, 2.75. And 4 missed tackles. And then 1 carry of 10-plus yards on the game. A little bit lower than average. A little bit lower than average. We said he was going to be a little bit lower than his average in this game, but he was still going to be all right. And we're still all right. Looking at Chase Brown, 2.54 yards after contact per attempt. 5 missed tackles as long as 7 yards. Again, it was dirty on the ground, and we were throwing it. We were throwing it. And when we come back to here, look at the pass attempts. 56 for Joe Burrow, 33 for Lamar Jackson. More than last time on the pass attempts. Maybe even more points if I remember right. We're well over 50. We're well over 60. That's how bad my math is. High scoring game, fun game to watch. incredible matchup here for a Thursday night. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure to hit that subscribe button on the way out. One thing for watching. Catch you on the next video.